the Flower Emporium prep class. Sorry about that. I had set this up and I had set it up to go horizontal multiple times, and it must have been glitching the day when I set it up, and then you can't go in and change it. It won't let you. So sorry. I know for some of you guys that are new here, you're like, oh my goodness, good thing I like this lady because she's making me jump through hoops. So of course we'll give everybody a chance to find this. And technology is awesome when it works. And I have to say, this time I know it wasn't user error, because I know not to do that anymore. To They make the standard setup is vertical, which makes no sense for YouTube, because everybody does a YouTube horizontally. So I don't know why the default is vertical. They should change that. I should actually email YouTube about that, because it doesn't make sense. So I know for some of you guys that have it set up with your Roku or through the TV, it might take you a minute to do it. So I'll give you time, friends. And as you can hear, the struggle is real because I have no voice. I had the flu all weekend because Vicki can't catch a break. And one of the things that has come out of it is this, no voice. So I'll make sure that I stretch it out, but it's okay. Tonight, I'm so excited for this class. I have to say, look at, I put the album cover together. Are you ready? I love this. I love this project so much. So take a little peeker. Do you guys love it? So knowing, welcome, first off, welcome to the 49 and Market Flower Emporium with Vicki Booten, first class ever with this new endeavor. Prep class, prep. This is a good time to answer any questions. A lot of you guys are going to probably watch, and you might not do much tonight. You might watch the first time. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I give for the prep class, there's like a week and a half with a weekend in there, so that you have time to kind of get a feeling for how a class with me works. There are a lot of new people here, so welcome. This is an amazing community. We have been doing these online classes. I've been teaching these classes for years in my American Crafts days, and with simple stories, lots of different things that I've done. And this community really grew during COVID because I had already been doing lives and doing a lot of these kind of meet and greets. So it was very easy for me to just continue on with it. So a lot of people that are here now that have taken probably 15 of these classes or more found me during that. And then I do my live. So we do this a lot. So it's good. She's mirrored. It's all fine. It'll all work out fine. It's going to be good. So let's start with some of the things, and I'll repeat myself often because not everybody's here at the same time. But let's do some of the what would you call it? Housekeeping. I think housekeeping is a good thing, right? So first off, if you hover over your screen, you will see the word live. And there should be a button on that live on your screen that is red when you do that. That means you're watching in real time. So if that button isn't red, you could be watching in the past. You aren't in present time with us. I don't think there's any way for you to watch future because it's live, but you could be watching in the past. So always good to know that. Make sure your live button is red so you know that you're watching. Or if you're not and you want to stay where you're at, because if you make it go, you press on that and you make it go to live, it will just catch up to where we're at and you could miss steps. So just know if you are watching and the live button isn't highlighted, then when you answer a question, always put question in caps, and then just know that you might have to give a little bit more detail on your question because I could be answering something we've completed already. So just that's one of the things. The other thing for the quality of the video, if you also hover over your screen, you'll see a little gear. You want to make sure that your viewing quality is at 720p, and that certainly will help with that. I do have a mic here. I hope that your audio is good because I do have, what is this thing called? The blue mic. So I spent lots of money on this thing. I hope that it improves your audio. Um, I'll sit down. I'll be a little closer to the mic when I sit. Anything else that I want you to know? Natalie is here. She is my ride or die. She will answer your questions. This community will answer your questions. It really is absolutely fabulous. Question. I see one already. As we cut, will you be able to tell? Let me get through all of the steps and then specific questions to what I won't be able to specifically tell you what, and we cut so many pieces of paper that you might not want to cut live with me, because I know a lot of you don't want to do an album. A lot of you are here that you bought access only. You're only going to do the layouts. Then you might want to watch the whole weekend and then make your decisions. You might not want to do anything live, because everything we're doing tonight, for the most part, is for the album, because that's all I've completed. I'm working on the layouts now. They're not even done yet. And they're beautiful because I've started them, but they're not completed. So everything tonight is pretty much for the album, but there will be pieces that are left over that carry over into the layouts, if that makes sense. So I might cut some pieces out, but there'll be like a whole 6x12 left. Well, then I'll use that possibly for mats, but there's a lot of stuff in this kit. There's a lot of product, right? You can rewatch the videos. They're all recorded. I do them live because I think it's the best way for us to kind of be in person, is to do all of the videos live. I love that if I make an error or anything happens, it happens in real time. So I make a solution with you. So let me get through all. I'm going to explain lots of the things. So I'm going to explain lots of the things because I feel like for some of you guys that are new here, you have a ton of questions. So let me go through my whole ramble and all of the parts. And then at the end, if I haven't answered your question, then that'll be a perfect time. Okay, so first thing I wanted you to just know is kind of the housekeeping things, like for watching the video, making sure you're live, answering questions. And let me kind of go through it. And then if you have a question that I haven't answered, will be perfect. Because then I feel like I'm jumping ahead. And probably if I kind of go through the steps, it'll be good. So let me take a little drink. And the first thing I want to do is welcome you guys. Like I said, first collection, I have, Christmas is done. I have it in the house. So my next release with 49 and Market has been designed. It is in production. I have samples. So very excited. And now we're just wrapping up the collection that will come out in the fall. So I love that this one, as I'm working on it, because when I sit down and create this class, is the first time I'm using the product that came out of here, right? And then I get it and I do the walkthrough and I'm super excited about it. I get to see product in real life, and then I get to work with it. And then I make notes on things that I feel like I want to do more of, things I want to change, things I want to add. So I love, as I work through this, I already know like I need more tabs and labels and more titles, and all of that's coming down the line. So when you guys get to create this with me, it all started from up here, and it's kind of fun to put it together and make it come to life. So how these classes work is, this first class is a prep class. So we do answer any questions, talk about how my classes work. You get to see and get a feel for how I teach. I've been doing this for a very long time. Don't fight the process. It really works. It's not just because I'm super clever. It's more just from experience and a lot of the things that I've picked up as I gone along doing this for 20 years or more. I've been doing this is we cut all the paper first. And it makes a huge difference because I can kind of gauge the flow. It might be your first time and you might be like, I need way more time to cut. So I'm going to watch it and do it in replay because it's all recorded, but I'm going to just sit and kind of enjoy, do what I can, but know that I can always come back and do it. So this first night is prep night. So we will cut about 10 papers, 9 papers tonight. So I didn't put the numbers on your cutting diagram, but you can write them down as we do it. It's going to be left to right. Um, and then we're going to clip a number on it. And then when we go back and we start assembling the album, because you will get all the bones of this album will be completed in the Saturday class when we do this. So how that helps is Saturday morning we do a little bit more cutting, but this collection, it's going to blow your mind how different this is because of how much ephemera we have. And this album is huge. Like, it's huge. I always am like, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure I don't fill it, and then I can't help myself because there's so much stuff I want to do. So you're gonna love it. Don't fight the process. Print the numbers or make numbers with sticky notes. You want to have a lot of paper clips because you're going to clip all the paper that we cut with a number. And then you're going to also, we call it clip, flip, and sip. So when we're building, if you feel like the speed is going a little faster, then you might like to be very deliberate with how you glue things. Then that's why paper clips are your friend. Because to me, you can take all the pieces of all those piles of paper, you can put it exactly where it needs to be, and then you come back and you start assembling. So like I said, the process works. I will say that, but again, I am just your scrapping Yoda. I'm just your guide on this journey. And what you do what makes you happy, right? And I'm totally okay with that. But I know that you can get there quick or you can take the long route. However you want to do it, you're going to see that this system works. Lots of people teach like this. I've been doing it for years, but now a lot of the events you go to do the Vicki Boutin style of teaching because it really works when you're trying to target big projects. So we will cut the paper. We will put paper clips with the numbers on it. When we go to start assembling, I just say grab the 4x6 from stack number 9. You don't have to figure out what name it was, especially because these papers don't have names on them, right? 49 and Market, we don't name the papers. So just the system works. So I just want to say that. I'm going to go through the tools we need for tonight. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek at the album. I am going to then organize all the paper we're cutting for tonight. And then I really want to talk about something that is going to be the key to success is organizing your embellishments. And I'm going to tell you that it's probably going to take you, has anybody done that? Probably a solid hour to 2 hours. I'm not lying. What are there, 220 pieces just in the Icon Ephemera pack? So I'm going to talk to you about how I organize them, and just let me grab my things here. So while I've been working, this is what I did. Everything I separated onto trays. So you can do trays, you can do Ziploc bags, whatever you want to do. But give you an idea of, let's find a stack that is in here that is organized. So when I go through, say with the journaling pack, I do things like this. I take all like things and paper clip it together. So I go in, and this one has a sticker on it because look at, with intention, everything's created with intention. I'll go in and I'll put those together. I put my frames, my labels together. And if they're all paper clipped together, when you go to assemble, it makes it so much easier. And then one SKU or one package is in one tray. So when you go to start assembling, and there's so many layers because there are vellum pieces, there's acetate pieces, there's ephemera, there's stickers, there are laser die cuts, and then all the pieces from the inside of the album. So I just feel like the key to success is to put like things together, keep them per SKU. So, because I do like a key. So when I'm, I write the directions, it will say, photo title from it will say like journal ephemera, so JE, and you'll know, okay, that's where I start looking for it, because we will not build the pages with the embellishments. I do the whole thing, putting the album together, all the interactive pieces, and then what happens is you have a whole video that you can reference and go back and then embellish it. And what's nice then is then you can change anything that I've done. You can wait till your photos are printed if you want to. So for us to sit and embellish it will take a whole other day. Some people stay up all night, right? And they'll do it. These trays are from scrapbook.com, but they're sold out. I'm hoping they get some more in, but they're the large trays too. I didn't think this was, I would like bigger ones. I'm hoping they'll come out with bigger ones, but it's scrapbook.com. But the other thing you can do on Amazon is there's something called puzzle trays, and you can get puzzle trays, and that would be helpful. Or, like I said, Ziploc bags, just bowls, set the stuff up in bowls. So, sorting trays for puzzles would work. But I find that I love that it stacks up, right? I love that it stacks up. Oh, see, so there's Daiso has something like that. So stack, and just look on Amazon too for stacking trays, because there's quite a few different ones. IKEA might have something that will work well. But a lot of puzzle trays. See, Christy's saying that she has puzzle trays in different colors. I saw them. I went and looked, and I could order them and get them the same day. So I'm sure that you guys will be able to find that too. But you will find the number system, the paper clips. You need a lot. Will work. Tonight, we just need basic tools. So you need a scoring tool. You need a corner rounder. I didn't grab the circle punch, so I'll have to do that. Just because I write a certain circle punch, like the 1 3/4, um, you can use what you have. Okay. The things that are specific are when sometimes in the design of the product, you might want a 1 inch or a 1.5. Like, it's just things. If you're going to do my classes, you always want a border punch. You want to have corner rounders. You want to have circle punches, because it's generally the exact same tool list for every single one of my kits. And then even things down to the stickers and ephemera are designed so you can punch out a pattern paper, cardstock, something to mat your stickers. And like, if there's a circle number, I make sure when we're designing it that it's slightly smaller than 1 inch or 1.5 inch, so you can use those things, right? So hopefully that's helpful. So tonight, what we're going to be cutting is, this is all I use. I only reference my cutting diagram because this is how my brain works. I need to see a square so I can see exactly how we're going to cut. So we're going to take our paper and we're going to pull exactly what we need, put it in order, and we're going to do that cutting. And then on the Saturday for the layout class, or pardon me, the album class, we'll finish the cutting, which is only going to be some of the cardstock, which is your starters, and your 6x8s. So it's not a ton. Like, I'm telling you, you're going to be shocked at how little paper we're cutting for this, because it's just a whole new world. It's a whole new world. So I'm going to flip the camera. I hope everybody who's going to be joining us tonight has found the new link. Again, I apologize. Technology's awesome when it works and super frustrating when it doesn't. Like I said, I Blair Witch you. It's just a girl in her basement hanging out with her friends doing what she absolutely loves. So I don't have a huge studio set up. So I have to unhook my camera, I flip it, and we're going to get started. Okay. And then I can see your comments when I'm not looking at the camera anymore. And we will answer any questions that you have. Are you excited? Is anybody super nervous? Don't be. Seriously, you're in good hands. I've done this a lot. I'm just happy. There's so many new people here. I'm happy for every single one of you who just keep showing up for me. Oh my goodness. This world of paper crafting is not super easy lately to be a part of, right? There's a lot of obstacles we've been up against. So that you keep showing up for me and for you guys, because we have so much fun, it just means the world to me. So I have to tell you, so I told you, right, that, okay, is that good? So sorry, I Blair Witched you for a second. Let me adjust so you can't see my belly when I sit down, and we're good. You're very excited. The kid is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I'm scared to cut my paper. It's beautiful. It's going to be so good, Priscilla. Like, seriously, I work it out to a science. So, like, there's things asking, like, these are going to be pockets. These are going to be waterfall flaps. This is going to be interactive. These are going to be mats. So for some of you guys, I'm going to say this, and I really, really feel this. Some of you don't like to do these albums. I really want to change that. because I feel like at some point, for a lot of people, I think step away from scrapbooking because the space that 12 by 12s take up, or your life changes, your kids leave the house, they go away, and you still want to scrapbook, but maybe you don't have the photos that you did before. This is why, for me, because I'm kind of like that, right? My kids are never going to leave my house, but they don't hang out with me. Um, that I love that I can fit so much in. Look at, we're gonna, those rub-ons. That's rub-ons on there. We're gonna fit so much in. Let me move my mic because I have limited space here. Into this album, and I love it. I'm just scared I'll cut wrong. Just, Jamie, I'm going to tell you, just let me guide you, and it's going to be good. So I have notes because I'm going to show you. So look at, we're going to be doing all of this. Look at all these spots for photos, right? So here, when we do the clusters class, I did something a little different this one. I made clusters that we're going to use immediately. So I made clusters that we're going to use immediately. So I have to photograph them before I can tape it or glue it down. So that's my next step. But seriously, all these little cuts from the album, so fun. This is a pocket. So, right, you have all of this is going to come out, even the whole sheet. Instead of gluing it to the back, I thought, how fun. We'll just put a 6x8 right in there. Little flaps, so you can tell little stories. This one is going to be another cluster, so it's only clipped on here until I photograph it. Another one, like, look at, these are the clusters we're going to make. How fun are these? And then you'll have elements that when you put your album together, you can just stick it right in there. And I'm really happy with that. I'm like, that was clever, Vicki. Why didn't you think of that before? So you have flaps. So all of this fun interactive, the rub-ons. Oh my goodness, game changer. Game changer, right? All the little clusters, the little kitty, all of the elements in the laser die cuts just blow my mind. I'm going to tell you, you might want tweezers. You're going to definitely probably have to, some of you might need some help with these little pieces. It depends what your dexterity is, because some of it, they're little. It's little, but it's worth it. It's little, but it's worth it. But see, the door opens, so I just put the little title inside the door. And then we have a flap, side flap, and a pocket. So we're going to prep everything that we need. Waterfall, flaps, right? Look at all of these. It takes a while to embellish because I put a lot of stuff on here. Side pocket, pocket pages, pockets. This is going to be another one of the clusters we're going to make. And then it's going to be ready, boop, for the side flap that I haven't glued down yet. Right? So pocket, flip, flap, opens up, flaps out. Look at all those photos. So that's where I'm saying, don't poo-poo the mini book, because I feel like my mini books are mini scrapbook pages, right? It's mini scrapbook pages. You can get so much in here that it's just a different way to look at it. It doesn't mean we can't do 12 by 12s. We're still going to do 10 of them, 5 double pages, and I think 1 bonus. So you still are going to get all of that meat and potatoes out of here. But I really feel like this doesn't take away from the scrapbooking side of things. Pocket. So this is where I use that punch. So if you have a smaller one or a bigger one, it's totally fine. Pocket, rub-ons. Look at how fun is that? So we don't need to cut a ton of paper. It's just crazy to me. It's this whole, I think Vicki Boutin better. I really feel like it's Vicki Boutin better. And I think you're going to find that with the Christmas collection when you see it, and the fall collection. Very excited. And then for some of you that have been asking about cut and paste, I just got off the phone before I went live tonight that it's shipping. It's going to be shipping next week, so be watching for that, because that class is going to be layouts and a tag flip book. So that's going to be coming. I'm going to be putting my pre-order up for that in probably the next week. Okay, friends? I bought only a limited number of kits for that one because I'm getting it very late. Even though my name's on it, I'm getting it very late. So it'll be fun to send out my American Crafts experience with a bang. Okay, with a bang. So now I'm sitting down. I feel like everybody has found us, right? Everybody has found us. Did I miss any of your questions? Was there anything that you asked that I missed? Because I will happily answer that now. And we're going to talk about what's going to happen here. Because we're going to have our kit, right? Kit bag. How do we know when the collection is available to purchase? Which one, Kim? If you haven't joined already, please join. And I'm sure Natalie will share a link. The Vicki Boutin Creative Community on Facebook. That is my private group on Facebook. It's where I share everything. The other thing is vickiboutin.com is where all of my kits and access only is purchased. And there is a section on there that's called the blog. And I'm going to be updating that starting with this next one. All information will be posted on there so that you can find it. I have newsletters that go out, but I can't guarantee it will go to your email address because sometimes your email providers won't let those kind of big emails with multiple emails. They will put them in your junk file, and there's somewhere else, promotions folder. So the best place to find out, your kits have shipped to Mia. They've shipped. I just haven't, I don't know how to add the tracking because it goes through something weird. So they've shipped. They should arrive next week. They have shipped. Everything has shipped. The only thing that hasn't shipped because I can't win, right? All these kits went out and the girls didn't know that there was supposed to be 2 of these in it. So when there were like 4 boxes of these, they didn't realize that there must have been a reason. So I didn't double check. Live and learn. I have to check everything. And then some kits went out. Somebody was helping me and my husband was helping me. They were kitting kits with no albums in it. Those have all shipped except for the people who've emailed me yesterday and forward. So you need to check your kits. It won't, none of this will affect anybody in the US. It's only Canada. Those 2 issues are with Canada. Okay. And my friend knows that too for the New Zealand kits, that she didn't realize there were 2 of these as well. So we get there in the end, but it's good times, right? Question, is Vicki able to ship America for the new kits? Yes, they are shipping from the US. So anything moving forward is shipping from the US. So no issues. We have no issues, okay? For anything that is in my shop, I can only ship to Canada right now until we figure the tariff stuff out. Okay. So I just wanted you to know that. Yep. See, Nadine got it. I know because I had to, Rich and I rushed in and we, as soon as, do you want the worst? Is I just dropped all of the kits off at the post office and I opened my email while I was sitting in the parking lot and said, hey, Vicki, I'm missing the second starter pack. And then all the emails came and I'd already shipped the boxes. So then, in Canada, you can't ship anything for under $15 now. So I had to ship all of those and then realize there weren't albums in some boxes and I had to reship those. So let me tell you, I just thank you for your patience, just understanding that I'm not a big company. I am one person with a little bit of help. Okay, one person with a little bit of help. So thank you for your patience. It is very greatly appreciated. I hope it doesn't turn you off from doing the things with me. It's hard because I hate making the mistakes because I hate disappointing people, but it happens. But I'm always on it. I'm on it. So are we ready? I would like you to grab your paper. It's all you really need tonight. We're going to talk about, I'm going to show you splitting up one of your ephemera packs so we can look at that. But don't fight this. You're going to want to organize these packs because what are we looking at if you do the math? 92 pieces, 79 pieces, 107, 217, 112, 220. You get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying. You're going to want to separate this stuff before the class starts because some of it you could put on, right? So what do you need for right now is really one starter pack. So if your second one hasn't come, it's okay. We're not doing that much. Yeah, there's over 600 pieces. So if you're trying to dig, you're going to dig and assemble, it's going to be a nightmare for you. So again, I'm not the boss of you. But I have to say, you guys have been doing this for a long time. Is this collection not stunningly beautiful? There are things that along the way, like in this vellum pack, the little tiny title strips, it's hard to know scale on a computer screen. So don't worry, I will make a lot of that better. It will be better. Some of it is way too small, right? So what we're gonna do right now is collect what we need. And I even tried to put it in order. These should be in order of how they're in the pad for what we need. Question, how should we organize the embellishments? Kim, you might not have been here at the beginning, but I will discuss it after we do the paper cutting. I sort, each package should stay together. So let's say you're doing the journal ephemera pack. I would put all the library cards together, all the labels together, all the tabs together, like all like things, all titles together. And I paper clip each little stack. And I use something like this. But I'm sorry to disappoint you because they're sold out. You can't get them if you don't have them. But this, see, you can see what I have left over. I just sort. You can buy puzzle trays on Amazon. And this is now what's left over, part of it for the layouts, because I've just started the layouts today. I was finishing the album because, like everything, I'm actively shipping. I'm actively designing the next collection, and I'm also actively making my classes. So the next thing is finish the layouts, write the instructions. It'll all be posted. I don't post early because I'll tell you, people start cutting all their paper, even though it's a live class, and then I have people are like, I cut it all wrong. So I know for some of you are like, why does she take so long to post the instructions? It's for a reason. If I post them, I start getting emails, people asking questions, and I'm like, just wait. That's what this video's for. And even if you can't do it live, it's all going to be recorded. Like when we're done this, it's all recorded. It never goes away. The one thing I will recommend is please save this video link to a playlist. If you look on your screen or see where it says share, save, and then there's 3 dots, you can create a playlist in those 3 dots. And then you can save all of the classes. Oh, pardon me, am I wrong? Or is it under save? I think it's under save. Under save, and then you can create a playlist, and then you will always have a reference for your classes. Right? And please save the video to a private library in your YouTube account because you paid for it. You shouldn't give it away to everybody else for free. And I'd appreciate that because I have enough people who come and take all this stuff. Right? If I can protect as much of my intellectual property as I can, it's really great. Right? It's really great. So I have my paper pad out. This is new. This is new with, I know when this collection first came out and people were giving their reviews, they're like, oh, I don't know if I like the pattern paper, not realizing that what they saw in open stock, this is not open stock. It's all in a pad. So this is really fun, right? So let's start. The first paper we're going to pull is going to be the grid with green diamonds. So it's not the circles. It's this one. This is the grid with green diamonds. You need 1 sheet. Okay. Grid with green diamonds, 1 sheet. So I'm going to grab this. And I love that there's no hole in it. So all of these borders you're going to keep. Okay. So let's take that. And then I just flip it with the green side up and we'll add on our stack. So that was 1 sheet. You only need 1 sheet. Your next paper is the black words with purple dots. And this is going to be fussy cut, one of these sheets. So I'm just going to tell you that now. If you want to do that as homework, I might take it out right now and do that. We're not doing it tonight, but put it in a separate pile. 1 sheet of this that you can fussy cut your flowers from, okay? So I'll set that aside. The paper is the same weight, which is awesome, right? The paper is the same weight. You don't, Wendy, you can come in right now. We've just started. So all you need to pull so far is one sheet of the grid with the green and put aside one sheet of the flowers for fussy cussing. Okay, your next paper is black words with purple dots. So grab a sheet of this. Only one fussy cuss though, and you know we have to do a Vicki Boutin floral, right? So this is gonna go on my pile with the green up, purple dot up. One sheet, okay, one sheet. Then one sheet of the yellow dots, and I'll go through all of this again, but it shouldn't be too hard because I tried to do it. Oh, I understand. I tried to do it in order, right? So it is the one with the yellow dots and the black and white diamonds. So one sheet. And then stripes with the blue pattern is your next one. Stripes is the key to putting a pattern paper together. So I'll always have a stripe because this is what I can tie all of the colors in, and it's pulls all of your colors when you put it on a page. So one sheet of that. So stripes with the blue. And you can see that I'm going like this, right? So I just did this one. The next one will be the book or book text and mini peach dot. You need one sheet of that. While we're at it, pull this aside. This is homework. So we'll add this into our fussy cut floral. Okay, one sheet. So it's not on your cutting diagram, but it's in the written, and I will explain at the end. So put that in your sub stack, right? Your sub stack. Okay. And then this is the next one in your cutting diagram. So I love this paper. There will be book text words in every single collection because it's my favorite thing. I can never have enough of this. And then peach dot. And I love the little kind of inky business going on this. I love this paper. Okay, so that goes in my stack. So, right, we'll go through the stack again at the end, but this is what's in this stack. Okay. And then you need the black butterflies with the dark green floral. It's the next one here. Black butterfly with dark green florally leaf tone on tone pattern. And then the blue floral with diagonal craft stripe. I love this paper so much. Blue floral with diagonal craft stripe. This is the peach square with the navy pattern on the back. Peach square with the navy X's. I know, it's got to blow your mind if you've used American Crafts paper pad, but that was a big thing with Janine. She's like, the quality of the paper pad has to match what we normally do. So none of this one, we don't need this one. The other one is going to be in your staples, okay? So that was it out of the paper pad. So let's go through that stack again, okay? So you have your grid with your green diamonds. We have your black words with your purple dots, which I love, and you know I'm not a purple fan. You have your yellow circles with your black and white diamond pattern. You have your stripes with your blue pattern. Book text with the peach dot. You have your black butterflies with your green leaf floral pattern. The blue floral with the diagonal craft stripe. And the peach square with the navy X's. And then for our sub stack, which is homework, you need one sheet of this that we're just going to cut into 4x6s. and that is going to be fussy cut, and this is going to be homework, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so we're done now with the paper pad. The rest is going to be for layouts and other things, so I'll set that aside. And then this, so the whole idea with a starter pack, there's a reason that you need 2 packs, right? Is you only get 1 sheet of each of these. So if you did not have 2 packs, you'd have to make a decision on which side you're going to use. Because a lot of these are mint. And this, magic, that's your B side. So set that aside. We're not using that. We're only pulling 1 sheet of paper out to cut, and then some for our cut aparts, okay? So we don't need this one, or this one, or this one. What do we need? Orange, okay. You need this, but it's the orange dot side that we're using. So this one is starter number 8. Starters paper 8. You need to go in your second starter pack and also pull out the 3x4s that you're going to cut into 3x4s. So out of your second starter pack for your homework, pull a second sheet out of this and put it in your extra pack, right? 1 sheet will go in here because you're going to cut these apart. But 1 sheet for tonight is going to be the orange side up. I'll repeat it later because I'm going to grab my second pack because it's not on my desk. Okay. Well, let's do it. That's probably easier. The other thing you're going to pull is this and this. These are homework. Okay. You need starter 9 and starter 10. And I'm going to grab my second starter pack so we can add that in there. And this goes away. Okay, the rest of this goes away. And that's probably confusing you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you all of it now. Okay, so I'm putting all of this away. The only thing we needed out of that stack was the orange dot, the 4x6s, and the tags. And we're going to grab our second starter pack and grab a second 3x4. Let me grab that. I got to stand up. Okay. And then I'll go through all of it again. So my second starter pack is where I get my 3x4. That's all I need out of this, okay? And that is paper number 8, I believe. Okay, and I'll explain it. So for homework, so a second step, excuse me, from what we're doing tonight is I need paper number 8. This is just going to be cut into 3x4s. The numbers are on the written instructions for you, okay? So I think it's going to be, Natalie, will you look at that? And then I will clip them. Can you look at, just pull, or if you didn't download it. Oh, you have it right there? I just want to put what the numbers are going to be for the cutting diagram. Right? So it'll start at number 10. I just want to know which numbers go on each, and we'll put the numbers on right now. I changed the link, didn't I, Rachel? Didn't I change the link? I thought I changed the link in the group, and it's posted in the description as well. And then the old link has the new link in there too, so hopefully people are... Can you check that, Nat? Because I did. I went and changed the old link and saved it. So this one, let's do it right now, okay? 3x4s is going to be number 10. So clip this. You know you're going to cut this into 3x4s, and this is going to be number 10. Okay? 3x4s is number 10. 4x6s, and just give me a second. Let me just put this on first, okay? Let's do it because it's coming too fast. So your 4x6s is number 11. So clip that. You know you're going to cut it. Follow the art. You're going to cut 3 strips of 4x12. Cut them in half for your 4x6s. That's number 11. Your tags, which are awesome. They're double-sided. So look at the art on those. I love them. You're going to cut those into tags. This is going to be number 12. It's in the written instructions. It's not on the cutting diagram because it's homework, okay? And then number 13 is the 4x6s that came out of the paper pad. There is no number for the flowers. You're just going to cut them, okay? And then you'll just put them, organize them. And I'll go through all of this again, okay? This just cut apart and put in a stack. And let's go through all of the paper again. Natalie, can you double check the link? I went onto the page and changed it, so I just want to confirm that anybody, I hope no one is trying to find us and can't find us. But the video wasn't working, so I had to do it again. I changed it. It's how you found me. Okay, you might have saved the old one, but I thought I had fixed that. Okay. So for what we're going to be cutting tonight, let's go through our stack. Is going to be the plaid or check. What would you call this? Graph paper with the yellow diamonds. And it is one sheet. I know I keep thinking it's two. The black words with the purple dots. The yellow circles with the black diamonds. The stripes with the blue pattern. Book paper with the peach dot. Butterfly with the green. Blue floral with the diagonal stripe. Peach square with the navy X's. And this one is starters number 8. The 3x4s that we're going to be using the orange dot side. Homework that you're going to do on your own prior to prep class or prior to the clusters class is cut apart the second sheet of 3x4 that's in the second starters pack. It's going to be number 10. Your 4x6s that is in the starter pack, it is going to be number 11. Only one sheet of these because we're going to use that. See? You don't want to waste that. So one sheet. If I don't say 2, you don't cut 2 sheets, okay? So one sheet of the 3x4s, one sheet of the 4x6s, which is number 11, one sheet of the tags, which is number 12. You can cut both sheets if you want because that's all we're going to use this for is tags. And that is starter number 10. And this was out of your paper pad, one sheet of your 4x6 library cards and frames. That's number 13. Yes. And your floral. Can I tell you a little? Okay, here's a little trick too. So this was a great question and great timing. Scrapping in my sleep. So the question was, do we save the branding strips? Yes. And we never in a Vicki Boutin class cut the branding strip off until we're ready to make our cuts. Because it's the easiest way for me to share how to put your paper in your trimmer if it's important how it's cut directionally, if that makes sense. So you know how sometimes you'll sit in a class and the first thing people do is cut all the branding strips off because they think they're a step ahead. But one, it's hard to tell which paper it is because there's no name on it or a number. And the other thing is if I want you to cut horizontally or vertically out of the paper, that's helpful if you know where the branding strip is. So, because sometimes there's words on the paper, and if you're cutting the B side, which has the polka dot on it, all your words could be upside down. So, or sideways, right? So, always just do that when we actually cut the paper, if that makes sense. So, we're ready to get started. Any questions? Yes, cut out, well, if you don't want to do the little piddly ones, Marlo, you don't have to, right? I'm not the boss of you. Do whatever you're comfortable cutting out. So I think all of them are for the most part pretty big. If there's some kind of weird little greenery that's hanging off of a flower, snip it off if you don't want to cut it out. Snip it off if you don't want to cut it out. I will have mine cut out for the clusters class, so I'll show you how mine all look if you didn't cut them out yet. But we're not going to be using any of those until the layout class. That is only for the layout class, okay? So this is our first paper we're going to cut. It's going to be number 1. It is not on your cutting diagram, but you can write that down if you want to. I think it's helpful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I did this posted it at 1 a.m. and I had already scanned it and then realized that numbers weren't on it. So you can just put them on. Okay, let's go. So this paper, the first piece we're going to cut is going to be out of the bottom of the sheet. It's going to be a 5 3/4 by 12. So I am going to open my paper trimmer up. And I'm going to cut 5 3/4 by 12. And that's all you have to worry about right now. That only number that I gave you is 5 3/4 by 12. So cut that. Find it on your trimmer, 5 3/4, and cut the strip. Okay. Once you get that cut, you're going to turn it. So now you're cutting out of the 12-inch length, and your first piece is going to be a 3 3/4 inch piece. 3 3/4 out of the left side of the page. 3 3/4, 4 1/2, and leaves you with 3 3/4. Okay. So out of this strip, that was a 5 3/4 by 12. I cut a 3 3/4 inch piece, a 4 1/2, and a 3 3/4. So see, that's, if you literally only do what I'm telling you, it is very easy. And to give you an idea, these are going to be right here. So now we're going to round only the top and bottom right corners, top and bottom right corner for this 3 3/4 inch piece. And then the top and bottom left corner of the other 3 3/4 inch piece. So right on the side with the little water ring. And we can clip those two with number 1. What size is the biggest one? I don't know, what is that, 1/2? Or whatever you want. Whatever you want. It doesn't have to be specific. So this piece right now is 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. You're going to put it on your paper trimmer, and you're going to cut out of the 5 3/4 length. So just confirm, right? That's my 5 3/4, okay? I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/2. So it will be 4 1/2 by 4 1/2 when it's done. So I'm just cutting that little extra piece off. Okay? So this piece again was our 4 1/2 by 5 3/4. So out of the 5 3/4 height, we cut a 4.5 inch piece. So then you can put both those pieces in your cut pile. I'm going to put it with the green side up, just so when I'm trying to find my papers, I can see what both sides look like. I find for reference that makes it so much easier. So we still have our remaining piece here, which is 6 1/4 by 12. So you're going to put it in, so you're cutting out of the 12-inch length. And please trim 2 3-inch pieces. 2 3 by 12s. Two 3 by 12s. Don't trim the tops of the tags, Laura, until you're ready to use it when you do them, because the front side is meant to look like a proper tag and the back side is meant to be a rectangle tag. So depending on which side you want to use, I wouldn't cut them all. You can if you want, but I left as full rectangles, if that helps. So now we have our 2 3 by 12s. These pieces are going to be the little side flaps. I just got to figure out where it is in here so you can get a visual. We're going to be cutting 5 1/2 inch pieces out of that. We're going to get 4 of them, and then those are going to turn into this. Right? We're going to fold them in half. So we need to trim 4 5 1/2 inch pieces out of that. So I'm going to stack it together and cut them. You can do whatever makes you happy. So I need 5 1/2, 5 1/2, and 5 1/2. So now I have 4 5 1/2 by 3-inch pieces. And you can put these little doobies with number 1. Keep them all, because we use these, every little piece we use as flag banners and other things, okay? Is everybody okay with this? So now we have 4 of the 5 1/2 by 3s. We're going to fold them in half along the longest part. Can you score it and do it? You can, but I find I am never very good at the measuring, so I'd rather visually just do this. And then you have your bone folder if you have one, or your fingernail, whatever you want to do. Okay? So you're going to create 4 of these. And like I said, I just like to do it so I can see it. And I would fold it from the grid side, so you aren't folding your, well, I guess it won't matter. Just won't glue them upside down. I was going to say so the words aren't upside down, but that won't matter until you glue them, right? There we go. This paper is quite a bit thicker, so you want to be careful when you're scoring and doing all of your bits so you don't perforate it. No, we only did one side, Marlo, so I'd say for now, just put them in your stack, and you can do your corner rounding when we put the book together. Instead of falling behind, I'd say just leave it. You can do them later. Okay? Because one was on the right side and the other was on the left side. So the one with the little circle, left side. The one with all the paint, right side. And now you can clip your 4 folded pieces right in stack number 1. See, that wasn't bad, was it? Paper's so thick. Paper's so thick. So that's number 1 done. So this is what I'll say now for any of my new friends that are out here doing this. Literally just do what I tell you. Oh, and I clip this. I clip my barcode or zip strip, whatever you call it, to my stack so I know where it is. So people will make the joke, is one of the things I say is literally for this part, just do what I tell you. Don't think about what the next cut is. Just cut the one number I'm giving you and then move on to the next. And if you really give the power over to me and just go along with it, it makes it so much easier. And thank you guys who've thumbed up the video. It always helps. Anything that helps people find us. And I know in the whole world now of the internet, I feel like people don't interact. Like, there are over 300 people here. I know a lot of people won't talk to me tonight. People don't interact on the group now. I really think it's worth it to make some new friends and community. And for you guys that do talk to me a little bit, thank you. Because it is hours of talking to myself pretty much. And I definitely go from what you guys are saying on the screen. So I know if you're watching on your TV, you can't do it, or you're on your phone, you can't comment. It's fine. It's great. Just keep doing your paper cutting. But I do have to say that I love when you guys comment. It really makes a huge difference, and especially because there's a lot of new faces out here. It's kind of nice to know who I'm hanging out with tonight. So our next paper is going to be the black words and purple dots. So this is important. These dashed lines or score lines are not cuts. So chicas and chicos, muy importante. That is a score line. It is not a cut. So we're going to cut a 7 by 12 and a 5 by 12. We're going to make some inner cuts, and these are going to be interactive pieces in here, okay? So I am going to take my paper. I'm going to cut opposite the barcode, and I'm going to trim a 7 by 12. 7 by 12. Okay, so right through along a sentence, not through a sentence. You're cutting along a sentence. So I want to make sure your paper is going the right way, okay? So you're going to trim a 7 by 12 and a 5 by 12. So just trim your barcode off. Thank you, friends. I don't want you to feel guilted into having to talk to me, but it really, I find it's a weird thing. Like, how the internet and our groups have changed, right? A lot of people don't talk anymore. And I think we just lose the whole community of the scrapbooking because not a lot of us aren't in person anymore. We're doing it all from the comfort of our own homes, right? So it's kind of nice. And then I see all of you guys out there and I love it. So now this one is our 7 by 12. Everybody okay with that? This is what we got out of the paper, right? 7 by 12, 5 by 12, and our barcode. So we're trimming out of the bigger one first, which is your 7. Your 7 by 12. You're going to cut out of the 12-inch length. You only need to get 2 pieces out of this, so it's going to be a 4-inch piece. So 4 inches. And that leaves you with 8 inches. Okay? 4 by 7 and an 8 by 7. So this is going to be a side flap. So we're going to score a 1/4 inch along the left-hand side. So I'm going to score very gently. And I found with this paper, because it's so thick, that I scored the front and back. So 1/4 inch on the left-hand side. Now, with that being said, I use 1/8 inch double-sided tape. If your double-sided tape is a 1/4 inch, you might want to find the 1/4 inch and move it in a little bit so that you have a little bit more space to get your adhesive on, okay? So this one was our 4 by 7, 1/4 inch score on the left-hand side. This one is going to fold over and then have a score line. So on the left-hand side of your 8 by 7, you're going to score 3 inches. So right here, you're going to score 3 inches. Okay? So a 3-inch score on the left-hand side. Okay? So 3 inches from the left and a 1/4 inch from the right. And I'm going to show you it in the book. So I'm going to do the same thing I did, and I'm scoring both sides because I found that that was helpful because this paper perforates when you fold it. Just is what it is, right? I'm going to show you it in the album, but this is going to be a little interactive flap. So that 3-inch is going to fold back on top like that. And you don't have to fold these because they're hinges, okay? So it's going to go in the album like this. These are going to get glued flat, and then it will be a hinge. It'll fold up like this. I love the purple too. And I'm not usually a purple girl, but I love it. It reminds me of like grape ice cream. So if you need a visual, if you're a visual person, here you go. So that's the one side. It's not glued down, but it will have the scored edge with a border, right? And this is going to end up going like this. Boop. And then this side, there's our purple, and there's our hinge. Is that helpful to see the visual of what's going to happen with this? And then these two pieces can be clipped with number 2. How you doing, friends? I want to know if you're struggling out there. And I remember I do this all the time. And I'd say the only reason people will struggle, for the most part, is because it's very hard to take direction. For some of us, especially if you're new here, you're like, I don't know this lady. I don't trust her yet. I haven't gained or earned your trust yet. And math is the hardest part, and that's why we do all of it together. So the biggest thing I can tell you, but I can't make you do it, is just listen for the one number I give you, find it on your paper trimmer, cut it. Don't try to think 3 steps ahead. I'll guide you. I'll guide you through all of it. I'll guide you through all of it. And if you get lost on something, set it aside. And at the end, I will say, is there anything you need me to explain again? And I'll do it again. Okay? Set it aside with your number on it. So the next thing that everybody should have, or the last thing, is your 5 by 12. And this is super easy. You're just going to cut a 5-inch piece. So you get a square, a 5 by 5, and a 5 by 7. Because it's going to go in, we're going to be using a lot of this purple. And I'm going to put it in my stack with the purple side up. Being a lefty takes a little longer, yes, because can I tell you, this is how I cut my paper. This is how I cut my paper. But I learned that most people cut it like this. Most people cut it like this, so I do this for you guys because this is not how I cut my paper. I just think it's easier on the TV screen. So look at 2 stacks done, and I feel like it's the best. Because think, in a lot of classes, well, in the past, because now I know, most people who have, because I go to a lot of events, most people teach like I do now. Most people cut paper like I do now. Cutting diagram, cut before you do anything. Because think, if I was in class and we did page 1 in the album, and I had you pull out the paper, cut what you need, then by like 3 pages in, you've lost half the stuff, you've cut it wrong. This is the best way to do it. I very, very much believe that. I very much believe that. Our next paper is the yellow. So this is the yellow with the black pattern. Okay, we're going to cut a 6 by 12 from the bottom of the page. So opposite the barcode, you're going to cut a 6 by 12. Okay, 6 by 12. Slide the remaining piece in and cut a 5 by 12. And that will leave you with a 1-inch strip, okay? So the first cut was a 6 by 12, a 5 by 12, and that leaves you with the 1 by 12. I just keep the barcode attached because I think this is fun, that maybe I just want to do a scallop border on it, and I have 2 different shades, front and back, that I can use, so I don't cut them off. Question, Vicki, are you left-handed? I'm asking because I cut with my trimmer the same way. No, I'm right-handed. Isn't it showing on your screen? Yeah, I'm right-handed. I don't know. You know why? I'll tell you why. There's reasons I do everything. I feel like I get a straighter cut when I do it like this, and I can push my paper in to the side, and I can hold it when I cut it. That's why I cut like that. I feel like you have less control when you cut like this. Could be completely wrong, but it's how my brain works. So let's take the biggest piece, which is your 6 by 12, and you're going to cut it into 2 6-inch squares. So turn it so you're cutting out the 12-inch length, find 6 inches, and cut 2 6 by 12s. And then just make sure they are, in fact, the same size, because this is going to be a pocket. Now I'm going to tell you a little story. I tried, this is where I punched with my 1 3/4 inch punch, and I broke it. This paper's so thick, I tried to punch 2 sheets at the same time, and I busted my punch. I can see it, it's sitting across from me. I grabbed another one from my shop, but I'm not gonna punch this until we build this page. But I'm gonna say if you have dies, circle dies, I would probably paper clip this. I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I think I have a circle die right here. Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah. I do. And you could do this later, like just put a note on it. And whatever, let's say that this looks good. Does it matter what size it is? No. You're just doing a half notch. And then I would do this, find the center, tape that down and run it through if you have this, because then it will be exactly centered for both pages and it won't break your punch. Otherwise, what you can do is, I'll give you this option too. I broke my punch though, no word of a lie. So I have this one. Oh, I have another one, so we're good. But this is what I'm talking about. Look at my punch. Won't close. It's not lined up anymore. I broke it. So don't force it. But you can do this. So you could find the center, right, which is going to be 3 inches. Eyeball it, right? I'm going to do a half circle, looking to see, did I center it, kind of? There, okay. And then you could do this on the back side. With a pencil, probably, preferably. Don't do it with a pen. Do I have one? Now it's like Vicki probably doesn't have a pen. So I do, okay? Right? And take your, so do you have to have this 1 3/4? No, you can do it with whatever you have. Let's see how close I got it. There's going to be stuff in the pocket, so it won't really matter. And then the line up. Okay? Does that make sense? So this is going to be a pocket. We're going to end up putting adhesive on the sides bottom, and then everything can slide in the pocket. Yep, you could punch it up, line it up, whatever you want to do. However your brain works to make that work is totally perfect. If you have the dies, lickety split, barb a trick, you can just do it in one thing. Can I tell you how excited I was to find out that I'm going to actually get cut and paste? So this Friday, I'm going to do a walkthrough of the collection. This Friday, it is planned on there. I'm going to do a walkthrough of the collection. A lot of you have it already. I haven't really talked about it because it's kind of a heartbreaker, my whole ending experience with American Crafts. It was very tough. But 1 1/2 punch you can, or 1 3/4, whatever you have. Whatever you have is fine. Okay, so I'm going to clip this now with number 3. It's my first piece. Can you keep the little half circles? Sure, if you want to use them for something, put them in there. And now, what do we have left? We have the 5 by 12, and you're going to trim 3 4-inch pieces. So 3 4 by 5s. Okay. 3 4 by 5s. I'm going to attach this whole thing to number 3. And I did forget this one with number 2. These are going to be your waterfall flaps. See? So we are going to score at the top of each of these a 5 by 1 inch strip. 5 by 1. Pardon me, 5 by half. 5 by half. It's a 1/2 inch. Vicky's crazy. Okay, so you want a 1/2 inch score. And remember I said I score the front and the back, right? So this is 5 inches by 4 inches. So when it's done, the flap will be 3 1/2 by 5 with a 1/2 inch score. Score, not a cut. So you're going to take it and you're going to score the front, and I scored the back, and you're going to very carefully fold it behind. Okay, and then that gets folded very gently so you don't perforate. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to split, your paper to split. Okay, 1/2 inch folded behind. You're going to do that on all 3 pieces. It doesn't matter which side because the words are going sideways anyway, but you're going to cover it with photos. Again, 1/2 inch along the 5 inch, the longest side. gently. Okay, don't fold it fast because this paper perforates because it's so nice and thick, but it means the interactive stuff is tough. Friends, I am so excited. I'm going to see if it's at the end of our weekend, if I can peek a little bit of the Christmas collection, if Janine's going to let me. Just a little peeker, just so you can see some of it. I'll see if she'll let me. Like, I'll take maybe one ephemera piece or something. It is my best one yet. It is the best one yet, and there's so much stuff in it. There are like 2 laser die cuts, rub-ons. There's so much good stuff coming down that we're working on. I'm not lying when I say Janine is my fairy craft mother. Yeah, we're doing some great stuff, so just wait. Just wait. Anyone here going to be at the Texas event with me? You're going to be excited if you are. So see how fun these are. So when we go to put these down, I learned something from a very smart friend on the last cruise. So when we go to do that, we're going to attach them like this. You line them all up, you paper clip it, and then you glue it, and it makes doing this so easy. So there'll be 3 collections this year, but it's going to be 4 collections a year. And maybe some mini collections will come out too. So put those in your cut pile. You're done with the yellow paper. Did everybody get that? We scored a 1/2 inch at the top of each of those pieces. Maybe 2 or 3 sneak peeks. I just want you to see, so you see the color palette pretty much, because it's early. But you know Christmas goes for sale in July. Christmas goes for sale in July. It is busy. It's busy, but I'm going to see if I'm allowed to show you maybe a couple of ephemera pieces. It's going to be really good. Okay, so we're done the yellow paper. So we are done 1, 2, and 3. And this is what my stacks will look like. I will organize it, right? So I'm super organized now. I won't lose anything. Easy to find. Hello, Valerie. Boop, boop. Our next paper is stripes in blue pattern. You want to make sure that you cut this stripe side up. Hi, Brenda. You're going to meet and greet Friday to meet your fairy craft mother, Janine. Yes, she's teaching this weekend in California, isn't she? You tell her how much I love her. Yeah, we are doing some amazing things together. I'm telling you, it is like a match made in heaven. It's a match made in heaven. So, straight paper. This is important. This UPC strip that we're going to be punching a scallop border along, because we're going to cut 4 little pieces out of it, okay? So just know that we're going to cut a 5x12, a 7x12, and then we're going to do something with a barcode. Me too, Helen. I think a dress in this would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Or a skirt. I would love it. So you're going to turn it so you're cutting through all the colors of the stripe, and you're going to trim a 5x12. And then cut the barcode off of the top. We are going to be punching a border out of the top of that. It's going to go where did it go? I think on the pockets. Yeah, it's going to be the stripe side of that border is going to go at the bottom of each one of the pockets later, okay? How do we get one of these aforementioned fairy scrap mothers? Well, I guess I can be your version of it, right? For me, it's just, I think all these years of what I did with American Crafts. And then when that I knew was going to go away, and I reached out to Janine and said, hey, I'm looking for a new place to land. And it happened to be at the same time that she was looking for a new designer. And it all kind of just came together. It all just kind of came together. So always check to see what's on your B side. So see, look how pretty this is. So let's show you where we're using this, right? Boop. So I want you to see, so you know, because we're going to be scoring. See, we're going to be scoring. We still have to cut it, but I want you to see how it's going to be used. And let's see it. There it is, okay? So it's going to be that, a whole page. Boop. So one thing, there's no score here. I was imagining things. There's no score there. We're not going to score that 1/4 inch. It's only one score. It wasn't on my cutting diagram, and I added it. So I was wrong. So we don't score this one. And it's not the end of the world, because if you did score it, you could always just trim it off later. But let's trim the piece we need, okay? So we are going to stripe side up. And this piece is your... Let's do it right, Vicki. This piece is... Ooh, let's look. No, there is a score. I'm wrong. I was showing you the wrong page. Look it. I showed you the wrong page. So we're doing that one. We're doing that one. There is no score on that. But where's the other piece? Here it is. It's going to be this piece. There is a score on it. Okay? But we want to make sure we keep the circle side. I don't know where she's going to be. I just know she's at a store in California. I don't know which store it is. I just know she's leaving on Thursday for California. So let's do this blue side up, okay, friends? And don't look at the cutting diagram, just follow my instruction for this. So this is your 5 by 12. You're going to cut a 10-inch piece that includes those blue circles. 10 inches. So it's going to be a 10 by 5, okay? So we're doing the same thing as a cutting diagram, just opposite, because we're cutting on the blue. Okay? So it's the same thing. What is this? Okay? So I have a 2 by 5 and a 10 by 5. I'm going to clip the 2 by 5 with number 4. They put Dixon, California. I'm not sure what store it is. What store is it? Scrapmania or something? Is that the Florida, the California store? What is that store? I don't know what store that is. And now this is your 12 or your 10 by 5. Okay. So make sure that this blue circle is in your hand like this. So see where that dark pink stripe is? All about scrapbook is, thank you. It's all about the scrapbook. That's where she's going to be. So you are going to have your pink is going to be on the right side, okay? You're going to score off of the left-hand side. You're going to score your 1/4 inch. I'm not going to lie, friends. I have to do it upside down because I can't do it like that. So just look. I'm scoring it along that green stripe, right? 1/4 inch. And then off of the right end is a 4 inch. Score the front and the back, 4 inches. So that 4 inch gets folded like that. Does it matter if you scored it on the other end? No, doesn't matter. Just do the best you can, right? See? It's going to end up being this page right here. And it's going to be a hinge, okay? 1/4 inch score on this end, 4 inch score on this end, and it folds like that. And you can clip that with number 4. Okay, everyone okay with that one? So this is the one that we're not going to score the 1/4 inch there. I'll have to change that. Like I said, if you did score it, it's not the end of the world. It won't be the end of the world. We just cut it off later. But it's a full page. I thought it was a flap, but in your album, it's going to be a full page. Okay? So you're going to put this in your trimmer and see the end with the blue, this thick blue line on the left-hand side. It's going to get trimmed off. We're going to trim a 1/4 inch off of it. So this side is going to be 11 3/4, and you're going to trim a 1/4 inch off. So 11 3/4. Trim a 1/4 inch off of the left-hand side. Okay. Where are you confused, Kristen? Where are you confused? Because that, I'm not sure. You have to give me more than that. Yeah, 11 3/4. What did I say? Did I make up a number? 11 3/4. I trimmed a 1/4 inch off. If I said the wrong number, I'm sorry. It's late. But yes, I trimmed a 1/4 off. That's 11 3/4. I don't know what I said. Don't worry about that. Just do this and we'll get to the next part. All we're going to do now is score a 6 3/4 inch piece on the left-hand side. That's all we're doing on this one. This page in your album is standalone. In the cutting diagram, I added a 1/4 inch score. We don't need that. So if you're doing this live with me, we don't need that. We cut a 1/4 inch off from the 11 3/4 inch piece. Just don't score on the left-hand side. You're only going to score, right? 6 3/4. 6 3/4. Score. That will give you a 6 3/4 and a 5-inch flap. And then you're going to round on the right-hand side, the top and bottom corner. I know this could be confusing, so just don't, everything I've said up to that point, just do the steps. Don't worry about what not to score and what to score. Just do what I do. Just do what I did, okay? So right now, this is your 7 by 12. We trimmed a 1/4 inch off the left-hand side. This gave us 11 3/4. And then we scored on the left-hand side 6 3/4. And then that gives us a 5-inch flap with the rounded corners. Does that make sense? I just don't want you to score it because it's a standalone page. It's not a flap. We're going to punch holes on that. Hopefully it makes sense because I know I probably confused you. I try not to make errors because then it just throws all of the hard work I did to get everybody trusting me, and then they're like, see, I knew she didn't know what she was talking about. So all we have out of this page is our flaps, this piece, and this piece. This is what you will have. Okay. And they all get clipped with number 4. Everybody okay with that? Did I lose you? Do you need me to explain anything again? It's okay. Ask me if you're not sure, because I started talking about other stuff, and I know it gets confusing. And that's what I'm here for. If you need me, I will explain it again. Perfect. If you need me, you'll let me know. If you're good, you're not going to talk to me. You're just going to keep doing it. Okay? So we're on to number 5. So this one, the first cut we're going to do is a 5 by 12 out of the left-hand side of this page. This looks like they line up. They do not. That's a 5-inch piece and a 5 1/4. So you're not going to cut a strip out of the bottom. You're going to cut it out of the side. So we're going to cut a 5 by 12 out of the left-hand side. So we're going to do a vertical cut, not a horizontal. Oh, border, thank you. Boop, boop. Yep, keep them all. Oh, yes, thank you. No, you're telling me, are we going to do the other thing? Yes, so before this, thank you. We have to do our scallop border. So I am going to find, so this was from number 4. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I almost forgot this piece. So you can decide how you want to do this. I'm going to cut the whole strip, but I like to cut out of the middle first so that both ends will end with the same scallop. So I line my ruler up with the center of my border punch, and then I line whatever I'm cutting up with the ruler, whatever I'm cutting from, and just do the best. Hope for the best, because is it going to be perfect? Probably not, but it'll be close. And then I punch, and then I punch out of the left, and then I punch out of the right. Any border you're using, you just want to make sure it's not a big, huge pattern. Does it have to be a scallop? No. It needs to be a very simple pattern, though. Otherwise, you're not going to get what you need out of this. If this piece is, you're like, this is just too small for me to cut out of Crazy Vicki, you can cut this piece later from scraps. You're going to have so much paper left over. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's crazy how big this kit is. So don't panic. If you're looking and going, yeah, lady, you're crazy if you think I'm going to try to punch a border out of that tiny little strip. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to show you what I did. And then later, there are tons of stuff left over. And you can punch it then. And one more. And then I'm going to cut 4 3-inch pieces from this. Okay. So pretty close. See, both ends. If you cut it in the middle and then cut out of the sides, I find that I don't end up with just a part scallop. And then I'm going to trim 3-inch pieces from it. Do you have to trim them now? No, you could trim them later if you want to. To be honest with you, though, really, find the 3 inches and then just try to make it as close to, whatever, I'm just going to do it. Because you might end up having to clean them up a little when you put it on anyway, right? You might have to, which is okay. They don't have to fill the whole bottom of the pocket. It can be just an idea of the cut. Okay? Good enough for now. If we don't like them when we get to putting them on the pocket, we'll cut them from scrap and put something else on there. But the whole idea is just to have four. Four 3-inch pieces. Okay. See, my math wasn't math in there for a second. I thought that I was like, Vicki, did you just do the wrong math? I didn't. I just can't add and subtract. Here we go. Now, for real, we're on to the text paper. Thank you for pointing that out. I would have totally forgot to do that. How we doing? Because I know sometimes it takes a little longer to punch. So if you need a minute, you can take your minute. Or leave it aside and do it later. For your book paper, you have to cut your barcode UPC strip, tear strip off first. Because we're going to be cutting out of the vertical, out of the left-hand side. Okay, we're cutting through the sentences, not with the sentences. And you need to trim a 5 by 12. See? 5 by 12. And then turn it so you're cutting out of the 12-inch length. And you want to make sure your 5-inch piece we're going to cut is out of the bottom where that light peach is on there. So then we're going to find 5 inches and make a square. And now from our 5 by 12, we cut a 5 by 5 and we have a 7 by 5. And you can clip these two pieces with number 5. With your barcode. Very good, very good. Now you have your 7 by 12. You're going to turn it. So you're cutting out of the 12-inch length. Your cut is going to involve that rainbow goodness right here. And you're going to cut a 5 1/4 inch piece. 5 1/4. That will give you the 5 1/4 by 7. 5 1/4 by 7. Okay. So put your 5 1/4 by 7 in stack number 5. That's a good song to have stuck in your head, Amy. So this piece that's remaining is 7 by 6 3/4. So we're just going to cut a little piece off the right-hand side, 1/2-inch strip. So we have a 6 1/2 by 6 3/4 and a 1/2 by 6 3/4. Okay. So off the right-hand side, trim a 1/2 inch. Trim a 1/2 inch. So now this is 6 1/2 with a 1/2 inch piece by 6 3/4. We'll see you later, Tina. I did cut a little 3-inch piece off of that. Let's do it. We'll do it. Or you can do it when you get to that page, right? There we go. It's going to be a little flaggy banner. So take your 3-inch piece if you want to right now. Go snip. And then cut your little tails. You can see how dry my hands are. That was not pretty, showing you guys that. I just looked and went, oh my goodness, Vicki, your hands are dry. And then I will clip those with number 5, and we're done that page. Any questions? Are you guys good? Next one is super easy. We're just cutting some mats out of it. So one of the questions was, can you tell us which ones of these papers are going to be mats? This is a fine example. For paper number 6 is this black butterfly paper. We're just cutting a strip of the green off the bottom. It's going to be a 3.5 by 12 off the bottom of that page. We'll see you later, Janie. The instructions say the left-hand side of number 5. It's okay. Either side's fine, Glenda. I probably just wrote that wrong, but it won't matter. That one doesn't affect anything, right? So left or right will be fine. We'll see you later, friends that are leaving for the night, okay? So thanks for the catch, Glenda, but that's one that it won't matter. Won't matter because it's just a little strip and it doesn't affect the art. Okay? So take your butterfly paper off the bottom of the strip. Please trim a 3.5 by 12. 3.5 by 12. This is, we can set it aside. This is going to be for layouts. Okay, we aren't using this. So I'm not even going to clip it with this stack. I'll just put it aside. Well, that's a lie. Clip it because then it's easier to find. So I changed my mind. When you look and you're cutting from the green side, because I love the detail that we deliberately put in this paper, we need to trim three 3.5-inch squares. So I'm going to trim 1, 2, 3. I want it from the end. So when I put this in here, go ahead and from the 12-inch length, trim 3.5, 3.5, 1.5, and that gives you your third 3.5. Okay, so 3 3.5s and a 1.5. I'm going to clip it with this paper. I changed my mind. It's just so we can find it later when we go to use it for the layouts. Okay, so clip number 6 to this one. That's all you needed out of that paper. Did I say good morning to you, Chris? Good morning. Have a good time at meditation class. Not because this is stressful, just because it's good for you. I totally get it. You go and enjoy. I'm glad you could join us for a little bit, Kristen. But the paper cutting's pretty straightforward from this one. One is a lot of scoring, right? You do have the flow, Amy. It really is. And this, I'm going to say, is probably paper cutting one of the easiest classes I've ever done. You know, with some of my albums, with the American Crafts, we would cut like 40 sheets of paper. It's not going to be that bad for this one. We're close. And that's what I said. Our next, when we do the album, our paper cutting is going to be we're going to be using the staples and then our 6x8s. It's not going to be bad at all. So we're on this paper now, the blue floral diagonal craft stripe. So you're going to see we're going to cut an 8 1/4 and a 3 3/4. This is all going to be scored, the bottom one. These are not cuts. So let's just do it. Your blue floral, you're going to trim an 8 1/4 inch piece from the bottom. 8 1/4. 8 1/4 by by 12. And then you can trim your barcode off, right? Because that's 3 3/4. But just trim the barcode off. You don't need to measure that. So you have these 3 pieces, right? Our barcode. From your 3 3/4, I just want you to turn it and trim a 2 1/4 inch piece. So from your 3 3/4, trim a 2 1/4. We're just going to punch circles from that. We're going to punch circles from this. We aren't using this, but this we might use later. So let's just clip that with number 7. I thought I was missing a cutting sheet as there was only one. Yeah, you're not, because this is the prep first, right? So that affects it, the prep class. And then the other thing is that I totally lost my train of thought. There is another thing, to Mia, is that there's not as much cutting in this because there's so much embellishment. Let me find my paper punch. So my 1 inch punch, I'm going to punch 4 1 inch circles. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll just clip those with, I'm going to use a separate paper clip for these ones. I'll clip it to that paper in case I decide I want something later. And then I'll just clip that with number 7 so I don't lose them. Well, and if for some of you, so who's here, who found me because of 49 and Market? You didn't really follow me before. Because I have to say, this is different. This is Vicki doing 49 and Market. I'm definitely different in the sense that I like pattern paper. I love to layer paper, a very traditional scrapbooker. So when I did this collection, I said to Janine, I need more paper. I can't just do the 2 packs like you do. I need more. And she's like, well, we can't do it in open stock. So that's where the paper pad came from. I'm like, can we do it in a paper pad? Because then stores won't have to increase the space to add more paper, but they'll get everything they need in the pad. And I really love it, right? I really love it. I really love it. I feel like we need traditional layering paper because I was a huge fan of 49 and Market before I ever worked with them. I did a lot of classes using the product. But for me, I always struggled because I needed more pattern paper. I needed things to layer and mat and cut apart. So I hope you guys love this part of it, right? I love the pattern paper side of it. So what do we have left? We have this 8 1/4 by 12. We are going to score because this is going to be a zigzag flapper. It's the second page of the album. Hi, Carrie. How are you? So she said, my mom and my sister have taken a ton of classes with you and Lael. I found you when my mom got sick and I was spending a ton of time caring for her. Oh, I love that. And big hugs. It's hard. Sick moms, losing our moms, freaking hard. I lost my mom in August. And I have to say it's hard, but I love that it's something you guys shared together. I do. I love it's something you shared together. So I want you to see, I hope you're enjoying it, Bonnie. You guys just don't understand. I've been scrapbooking for 24 years. I've been doing it as a job for probably 22 years. Product design for, I don't know, I think it's 10 years of that, 8. And I have to say that you guys coming and joining me and making new friends, if you meet me in person, I'm the exact same person. I love what I do. I love what I do. I love the community. I don't want scrapbooking to go away. So I love that I've made a whole bunch of new friends and followers that were already committed to 49 and Market. I love it. And then I love the people who 10 years of product design. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So let me show you. This page is going to be this fold out. So see how we're going to be doing 2.5, 3.5, and a 6. So it's going to be, that sheet is going to go like that. Okay. So I am so excited that I have new people, because I know people, when they heard I was joining, were probably scared. They're like, really? I don't see it. And I'm like, oh, I see it. I see it. I can totally fit into this vibe, but still staying true to Vicki, right? So I know some people were like, it's not as bright. Well, I don't think it's dull. I think it's totally different, right? It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So what do we need to score? Our first one is going to be on the left-hand side. We're going to score 2.5 inches. 2.5. Okay, 2.5 off the left. Then move it all the way down, or flip it. I'm going to flip it. So this was the left, 2.5. If you want to do this, if it makes it easier for you, go ahead. Okay, that was my left. Off the right, that when I'm flipping it, I'm going to score 6 inches. And I'm going to do the front and the back of this one. 6 inches. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Jill. That is absolutely heartbreaking, and I'm glad you're here with me, friend, because I'm telling you, this is therapy. So everybody send a little love out to Jill. That I can't even imagine, my friend. I can't even imagine. And just so you know, Jill, my mother loved you. She used to talk about you all the time. So you're with your people. You're with your people, and that is heartbreaking, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm getting to that, Amy. I'm just going to do my folds first, right? So how this works now, right, is it's going to go in your album like this. Just heartbreaking. But I have to say, this paper crafting in this community, so see what happened there? It's going to go like that. Is the most healing thing. It really saves you. And big hugs. 2.5, 3.5, 6. Round just the top corners on the 2.5. And I find, like, I don't know, this community, and that's why chat with the group. Join, like, make sure that you have hit subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I go live often. And I feel like you don't even have to scrapbook. You could just come and hang out because you just need to spend some time with your friends. And some of the best people I have met in my life are paper crafters. And I have friends all over the world, right? Yeah, it's terrible, Jill. So sorry, friend. So that's it for number 7. We have our strip. We punched the holes. We scored for our zigzag flap, or a Z for my American friends. And then clip it with number 7. We only have 2 papers left to do. And then we'll talk about the homework, and we'll talk about sorting your ephemera, because I think it's important. I always tell scrappy friends that we each have a gift that someone in our community needs. I love that. We all have something someone here needs, or something they have for us. Bonnie, that is awesome. Is it not true? And because I do my scrap cruises, like we get together, I scrap in person at events. I've met a lot of you. Like a lot of the people who are chatting on here I've met. And I have to say, um, it is amazing. It is amazing just the wealth of that you can find in this community of like love and acceptance and finding things that we share is it's really special. So we're going to do number 8, which is your peach square and navy X pattern. Did I write it down wrong? Natalie, did I write the instructions wrong? Because you put that it's the journaling cards from the starter pack. Because if I put that in there, I lied. On my cutting diagram, it's peach square. Just want to make sure. Beak. And I do feel like this group is fantastic. I feel like I have very much nurtured the community aspect of this. And then the right people have just shown up. Like I'm just telling you, this is a blessed community. I can't even explain that you found your people. You found your people because they're wonderful. Okay, I just want to make sure because you know it wouldn't be the first time I wrote the wrong thing down. And a lot of the people chatting on here, the reason they chat is because we know each other. We're friends. And I love it. So we're going to trim a 6x12 from the bottom of the page. A 6x12. There's my friend Kari. I've met Marlo, Glenda I've met. And some of you I've met, and you know I never remember a name to save my life. So you can say, and you met me, Dingaling. And I'll be like, okay. Because the best is I have a friend named Vicki Von Vicki. And she was on a cruise with me. And I'm like, was saying, hi, Vicki. And then I said to her, oh my gosh, I forgot your name. And she goes, dummy, it's Vicki. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Right? Oh, Devra, I'll never forget Devra's dad was a designer at Mattel for Barbie. So like I freaking love Devra. Like Devra and I were meant to be friends, right? So I love it. So yes, if you have an opportunity, and I want to say this to you guys now because there's 300 of you here. Remember, I was getting you all excited and saying I was going to do a cruise in February. Watch for the dates. I didn't realize that I can't do it. I had to cancel it. I didn't sign the contract because I have to go to a trade show. They changed the dates of the trade show, and I can't go to the trade. I have to go to the trade show because I have a new product releasing, a new product that's coming out. I'm doing something new in next year. So yes, we met on an Australian cruise, and I have to talk to. There's somebody out there who's expecting to talk to me, but I've had a heck of a couple of weeks. So I have to talk to Michelle, but I'm going to be back to Australia. So that's going to happen. And now I know everybody's excited to get in there. And Michelle's like, well, if Vicki could get on a phone call with me, we'd have it all worked out, but I haven't done it yet. So we're doing the things. So from your square, your peach square, so opposite the barcode, please trim a 6x12. A 6x12. I love it. Look at so many friends I've met. Yeah, Australia is going to be in the end of October, November. It's the end of October, November. Because it's when the cruising starts, and we're going to be doing a cruise and an in-person class. Okay, 6x12, set it aside with number 8. Number 8. Oh, I'm just telling you. And Australia, oh, we had the best time. Right? The best time. Will there be 3-inch squares? Where will the 3-inch squares be used? I don't know, Jan. I'll look. I don't know. I think they're mats. I'll have to look. Let's see if we can see it quickly. I know a lot of things, but I don't know all the things. Look at, there's 2 of them. Boop. Here's the other thing that I really recommend. Not every photo deserves to be a 4x6. I know for some of you, you're like, I only scrap like 4x6. Uh, it is worthwhile to get a app on your phone or photo editing software that you can put smaller photos, because everything looks cuter mini. And sometimes, like if I went to a party and I took pictures of our whole group at the party, but then I took pictures of the cute shoes I wore to the party or the cupcake I ate at the party, that's what ends up being a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 photo. So I really have to say my favorite printer is the Epson PictureMate 400. I've sold a lot of those. Lots of scrapbookers that are out there use them now. Lots of your teachers that you will meet use that printer, because I love that printer and I've sold a lot of them. I love it. Does it last forever? No, but it's good, right? In 2026, hope it's not, no, it's after that. Connie, are you worried about me because you think I double book everything? No. Connie is saying in 2026, hope it's not October 15th to 24th because I'm on a cruise. No, I'm on that cruise with you. It's after that. It's after that. So this remaining piece, you're going to trim 2 3 by 12-inch strips. Anything you're not too sure about, just don't cut it now. Don't cut it now, and you can decide when we get to that page what you want to do. There is so much paper left over. There's so much, so don't worry about it if you're like, what if I don't want to do that? You don't have to do. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Like I said, I am just your crafting Yoda. These are all suggestions. You can do whatever you want. But most of it's going to come out of this blue. I love this color, how it contrasts with all those other patterns. So I did a lot of matting with these, right? So now we're going to take one of your 3-inch strips. I'm going to do this one just so I stay true to the cutting diagram. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to trim a 5-inch piece, a 4-inch piece, and that leaves me with a 3-inch piece. Okay. From the second strip, I'm going to trim 4 3-inch pieces. 4 3-inch pieces that are, for the most part, mats, because I just like how the color popped up. Because don't forget, some of those flaps and such in here are pretty narrow, so you need some smaller pieces for it. But like I said, it's a suggestion. Am I going to get mad if you don't do exactly what I did? No, I'm not. I never have as a teacher. I like doing small photos. You might hate it, and it's totally okay. We still can be friends. So I'm going to clip all those pieces to number 8 with the UPC barcode strip, this thingy. Hello, Peter Pan. Just popping on to say hi. I will have to watch and catch up. You're on a cruise ship in Alaska. Good for you. We did the cruise to Alaska. It was super fun. Hardest crossing I've ever done, I have to say, though. It was rough. We had a lot of people, friends that were on there that I'm like, don't worry, I never get sick on the cruise ship. And then everybody was green. It was the worst crossing ever from Seattle. I don't know if that's where yours went from, but it was rough. So this paper, we're going to cut the barcode off, and then we're going to be cutting out of the left, just because there's some little words on here. You can hardly see it, but all our cuts are going to be vertical, right? So go ahead, cut your barcode off. We're doing the orange side. I love this freaking paper. I was in a class, I think it was when I was in Australia, and one of the ladies in the class said, I hate orange. And I think I was wearing an orange dress that day. And I said, well, as you can see from what I'm wearing, I love orange. I love orange and yellow. So isn't that fun? You're supposed to be on an Alaskan cruise right now, but you had to postpone it. Well, I hope you get to do it at some point, Lori. It's fun. It's fun. I do prefer, I have to say, cruising with a bathing suit weather. I like hot cruises better than cold, but each to their own, right? Okay, so this was from the starter pack. only one sheet, and it is starter number 8. And we are going to trim a 3 by 12 from the left-hand side of the page, just because, can you see the little words? 3 by 12, a 4 by 12, and that leaves us with a 5 by 12. So the 5 by 12 we're going to use for the layouts. I'm going to clip it for now with number 9. This is the last paper. And then I'm just going to talk about one more time about organizing your embellishments. I'm really recommending as homework that you want to sort your embellishments. But this is it for tonight. This will be the last one. And sorry it went way longer because I messed up with the video wasn't working, but I'm glad if you could stick around that you did. We're going to trim out of the 3 by 12. You're going to trim a 5 by 3 and then 2 3.5s. Okay, 2 3.5s. That is not very good math, Vicki. I did not do a very good job, so I'll just cut some of that off. This paper's so thick, don't be surprised if you have to change your trimmer blade, because it doesn't last very long, right? So this one is your 4 by 12, and you're going to trim 4-inch mats. You're going to get some squares out of this, okay? So 3 4-inch mats. And you are done your paper trimming. Which part, Carolyn? From your 3 by 12, you trimmed a 5 and 2 3.5-inch pieces. And then from your 4 by 12 are 3 4-inch pieces. Okay? So from the 3 by 12 is a 5 and 2 3.5s. And then the 4 is 3 4-inch pieces. What is that, Joanne? Do we what? Now I need to know. Do we what? Okay. So when this class is done, if you have lots of energy left, you can start your homework, or you just need to do it before prep class, which is not this Friday, it's next Friday. Okay. All of my stuff is organized, so I will put this somewhere neatly. I don't know yet. Remember, Joanne, I still haven't finished my layouts. So are you concerned that you cut something incorrectly? I would say wait for now. And then when we're on the, when we build the album, I'll be able to tell you. At this point, I haven't used it, but I haven't finished the layouts. But there's tons of paper left over. Okay, and a lot of these are mats, so don't worry about it. Yeah, or washi tape for the win. So this is ready to go. I keep my cutting diagram. I will set these aside because we won't be looking at those again for a while. So what do you need to do prior to the weekend event? You need to do your homework. So your second sheet of the 3x4s. So see this, you're going to cut those into tags. And then everything else is just a 3x4. That's going to be number 10. It's starters, number 8. You're going to cut these into 4x6s, 4x6s, and that's number 11, and that is starters number 9. There are 2 sheets of these tags. You can cut both of them apart or just one. At this point, I've only used one, but one never knows. I might cut the other one apart, and that's number 12. I just put them all together. And then out of your paper pad, one sheet, only one of the number 13 is these 4x6s, and then Fussy cut these flowers. So the question was, do we have to cut all of it out? Like, I'm going to tell you, I won't leave that on there. I don't like anything that's really too piddly. But some of it, look how pretty this is. I probably leave all that together. No number for this one, just clip your fussy cut flowers. This is going to be for the layout class. Do you have to do it right away? No. If you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. You just won't have the flowers that I use. Okay? And then let's take one ephemera pack and talk about it will need to be stored securely away from the cat who loves the barcode strips. Isn't that crazy, Christy? And my cat loves my ink blending tools. Simon thinks that those are for him, and he likes to bat them all over the floor. So let's talk about an ephemera pack. This is a great opportunity. Hey, doll. So yes, next class is not next week. It is the week after. The other thing I'm going to recommend is not to throw the pack away, because you can quickly have a reference for where stuff comes from, right? So when I go through, I put like things together. So I would put all my tags together. So say it's your ephemera pack, your icons, I put flowers together, like things together, because you want, when you are going to look for something, to quickly be able to find it. So if I'm doing that, right, I'm going to put all my tags together. And then what I do is just go in and clip them and throw them in whatever container I'm using. And then when I need to find it, it makes it way easier. There are over 600 pieces of decoration in this kit. If you don't do this, it's going to be, I think, well, unless you enjoy that, but I think it'd be kind of a nightmare to try to find everything. So just go through and find all your like things. I put titles together, clips together, frames together. Especially the titles, it's nice to be able to find them quickly. Right? And just sort everything like that. So that's what you're going to want to do. That will be prep. If you are like tapping out, Vicki, I understand how to do this. Thank you for joining me tonight. This Friday, I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of the cut and paste weekend, or pardon me, cut and paste collection, my last one with American Crafts. And I'm also going to be talking about that class that's going to be a pre-order. And if you're joining me in the UK for the class that I'm teaching after the cruise, yay, I have the product for it. It's going to be awesome. So there's going to be a bunch of layouts. We're going to do a ton of layouts in that class. So don't worry if you're in the US. It ships from the US and ships from Canada. So there's no issues with the tariffs. It's fine. It's all good. So just to give you an idea, that's what this Friday is going to be on Friday Night Live, is I'm going to do a walkthrough of Cut and Paste, my last collection with American Crafts. And I'm going to be talking about that class weekend, because it has been, some of you have it already. I don't. I didn't get mine. They didn't send it to me. So I got confirmation today that it is arriving this week, and they're going to ship it to me. And we're going to do a fun layout class and a tag flip book with that one. So it will be a much smaller kit. So the price point is going to be great. And it will be our farewell to my American Crafts collection. But I have to say that collection is beautiful. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Christmas sneak peek won't be tonight. It'll be next week if I get a okay from the boss lady. Not a much of a peek, because I can't give it away. There's got to be something to look forward to, but it'll be during our weekend event for this, okay? So this is all. I'm not going to do all of it right now. I just wanted you guys to see. This is how I separate my like things. It just makes this so much easier. And I do this. I don't tell you to do this, and I don't do it. This is how I organize, so I know what I have to use, right? Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. My Friday night lives are always at 8 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. I will put up, it's already on there. I'm just going to change it. You'll see there's a link on there because I just kept moving the date back, but now I have confirmation of the product. I will go ahead and I will change that. So the live is already scheduled. I'm just going to change the date and time for it. Okay. So see how much easier that is? Boop. Now when you need to find something, it makes it so much easier. I want to thank you guys. I'm going to flip the camera around. I'll finish this separately, but you get what I'm saying. Look how much easier that is. Just separate it by like things. Much easier to find it. Paper clips are my friend. And then when I need to find something, the reference is just easy. Hello, Irene. How are you? There were some of us waiting last week. I know, because I forgot it was up there. But some of you who know me know the trials and tribulations I've been through in the last year. So I have to say, I'm just excited. I actually am getting it, and I can do one last class with it. Like you guys know, if you've already purchased it, you still will want to get a kit because I'll be using that on Friday Night Lives. We'll get as much bang of the buck for that. And you know, I very much appreciate that. That's how I get paid, especially with American Crafts. All of my income only came from classes because people think we get rich from having our own product line. Not me. That's for sure. I did not make anything off of any of my collections for the last year with American Crafts. So all of my income has come from these events. So either if you do access only, or especially if you buy the kit, because that's how I make all the hours and hours and hours that go into it. All my income comes from my class kits. And then, you know, 100%, I love that you support all of our independent retailers. It's so important. So, you know, we have to, it's just a piece of all of it that keeps this industry going. And because this is my full-time job, I need it, right? I need it. So the tariff stuff has been just a nightmare to deal with because I had to cancel all the orders for the US from our International Scrapbook Day. But I'm hoping we'll see an end to that, like something good will come out of all of that, right? I loved how easy it was to follow. Thank you, Lucy. I hope you enjoyed that, right? I hope you enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. And I love, and it was really nice because I got to go to a, if you've emailed me too and I haven't responded, email me again. I'm not ignoring you. It just all gets lost because it's one Vicki doing the things. If you are still missing your album, and you just emailed me, they're coming. I have to send it all UPS because on top of it, Canada Post is on strike again. So it's a nightmare because I'm shipping things like 3-4 times. And then on top of it, I have to ship UPS, which costs more. And it's a nightmare, right? But did you use any of the bonus cuts from the laser pack? Some, Lisa. Some. So yes, you can cut those apart or wait till whenever. But yes, there are, I can't remember, not everything. You know how the big frames? But I did use like the little watercolor tags. As a newbie, instructions were amazing. I only made one tiny error. That's excellent, Jamie. And that's nothing to be like you're using somebody else's direction, right? Okay, see, look at that didn't take long. So I just take a sheet and then look at it. Just makes this as I'm telling you, don't fight it. Don't fight this. This makes it so much easier. Loretta, it's on its way. It's going to arrive on Tuesday. I sent you your tracking, but your kit went out later, right? Because it was one of the, you didn't get with the main order. It's one of the leftover kits, right? So it went out this week. It had to go out through UPS, but your tracking was sent, and I believe I checked it because I saw your post on the board, and it is coming on Tuesday, I think is when it said it's going to arrive. So I believe it went with UPS. I think it just went out this week. And if not, anybody who, I'm sorry, with Canada Post, I have no control over that. If your stuff, because some of the stuff's going to BC, it takes a long time, and now it's on strike again. So if I'm wrong and it was with Canada Post and you haven't got it yet, I'm sorry. That's one of those things I have zero control over. So the only plus is that all of this is recorded. So if you can't do it live, it sucks. I'm sorry, but at least it's not like you can't do the class at all. So it's hard. It's hard, man. These small businesses nowadays, we are just taking it from every direction. It's not easy. Let me do this. Boop. Hi. So let me see. You have lots of questions, and I want to make sure. I punched out the laser cuts. They are so fine and delicate that I would recommend waiting until you're going to use them. Some of mine broke. Some of mine broke too. I still punched them all out, but some of the little leaves, it fell off. I didn't care. I just didn't use it. I just didn't use it. But those are okay. So that's thank you for sharing that, because it's a great opportunity. It was my first time ever doing laser cuts. So there's things that I learned from doing that I knew some things needed to be thicker. Like the fine detail is too hard in the leaves. So in the Christmas collection, where there's 2 new laser cuts, a lot of them have a little thicker lines. So I know some of the stuff is hard when you're punching them out. But be careful. They're very delicate. If you have dexterity issues, you might say to one of your grandkids, hey, can you help me? Or your daughter or your husband maybe loves that finicky stuff. The laser cuts are tricky, but so worth it. Like the detail is amazing, like this. Oh, and then in your album kit, and keep them separate, you know when you open this, right? When you open this, there are laser die cuts inside the album. Look at the detail on that. So when you pop your laser die cuts out of your album apart, because you will need to do that, because a lot of what's on the cover and inside comes actually nothing. I'm a liar. Nothing. This does. Look at that. Look at the detail. That's a laser freaking die cut. How amazing is that? Comes from inside, right? Comes from inside. Teresa, I get all the quotes, and I go with whatever the most inexpensive is, and FedEx was not it. It's Canada Post or UPS. And then for my American friends, we're fine because that's going through USPS. So to reiterate, get your homework done, pop all your stuff out, organize your bits. The next class will be the clusters class. So we might do some clusters and paper cutting. We'll see how it goes. And it's going to be great. Join me on Friday if you want to learn more about cut and paste and the upcoming class for that. Will be this Friday here on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching present time and not in 2 years in the future because you're just getting around to doing this class, I see you. And then if you have any questions, post them in the group. For anybody who's waiting, my Canadian friends that are waiting for their missing album, open your box. Make sure you have everything you need in there. I have sent out all of the things, but I know there's probably a few stragglers. I just don't know who you are. I don't know who didn't get the album in the box, but I know it was only a couple of you. So I've sent some out. Just email me at info@vickybooten.com if you have any questions. And thank you for joining me. And if it's your first time, I hope you enjoyed that. It's just going to be more of the same, and it's a lot of fun. We have the best time. That's why, there are a lot of you here, a lot of new people, but everybody comes back for the most part. It is one of those things, and it's why this album sold out so fast. If you're in Canada and you bought access only, but you wish you had bought a kit, I do have a few left. And some of you guys emailed me. There are 2 kits for the US people who emailed that we're going to ship out. Possibly some more. We just need paper pads for them, and we might have 6 extra US kits. So if you bought access only, I just refund you the access only. I'll sell you the kit and refund access only if you still are looking for a kit. So other than that, thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening or day, wherever you're watching from. And I will see you for the clusters class next Friday at, I'll be posting that. So that's another thing. Thank you, Vicki, for reminding me. Um, all the links for those classes will be posted, and all the instructions and whatever you need. There's really nothing for clusters other than I photographed the clusters. And then I'll share the other information closer to next weekend, because if I put it out there too soon, people start cutting their paper, and then it's a big mess sometimes. So I just find it works best. So thank you, Natalie. You're the best. Thanks, friends, for joining me. If you have any questions, info@vickybooten.com, or post it in the group. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.